Hello, my dear Leo. This is your love and spirituality reading for the mid-month of June 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I read for the signs in order of most liked videos, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for your sign. And thank you so much, Leo, for sharing the love with me. It's so nice to be appreciated, and it keeps me going and like being energized to continue with this work for you. I have put astrological information for the month of June in a video of its own. You can you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. The reading can go both ways. The message is for the people who watch it. So if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person in the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. For this reading, I used the Osho Zen Tarot by Deva Padma. I have been using it since 1995, and many of you have asked how I have learned to read tarot in the way I do. This deck has been my main source of inspiration, together with Crowley's Thought Tarot. It is working with the wisdom of Zen and can be used together with cards with Zen stories to get an even deeper knowledge of your situation. I will make a shorter 5-card spread to make it more digestible for you. And now I will start with shuffling your cards. Okay, so my dear Leos, when I open your deck here, I see change and guilt, 8 of Swords. Okay, so change is in the reversed and also 8 of Swords is in the reverse. So it feels like you are being rescued. Okay, something that has repeat itself endlessly, like a karma, is something that doesn't have to repeat itself anymore. 8 of Swords in reverse is like being let out of a prison. Usually it's a prison of your own making, with your own thoughts, with your own limited thoughts about yourself. Guilt can be good at some point. It can be a good thing. And when we feel like this, we immediately know that our last decision we made that made us feel like this was wrong. Okay, so that's a good life experience. And we can take notice and we can learn from it. But if we continue like dragging ourselves in the dirt for this and never let ourselves go, always watch ourselves and don't trust ourselves, being like oh, I can't trust myself in this situation, I don't know what I will do, I don't trust what I think, I don't trust what I feel, I don't trust how I present myself to other people. Well, then we are slowly driving ourselves crazy, and we are building a prison for ourselves that will dim our light and make us unable to shine our light to the world. So with this setting here, with the 10, the change, this is spiritual interaction in your life, like the wheel is turning, you're back to the the knot where you once fell, maybe not once, maybe thousands of times. You have come to the same point and fall into the pit and have to do things again, and then you come to the same point, do the same thing, fall in. Yeah, you get the drill. But here, with you taking yourself out of prison, there's a big chance that you will free yourself from this kind of karma at this point, just by changing your way of viewing things. It can also be changing the way of viewing others to kind of not control them anymore. They don't have to act or be in a certain way to make you happy. You can make yourself happy because you're not driving yourself crazy with thinking what could have been anymore. Okay, so I pull the divine with love and light. And here we have the rebel together with the change. So you are breaking chains. My beautiful wild warrior, as it says in Elena Fairchild's oracle cards. So here you are breaking the chains, and we can see this almost like a snake here, the snake that bites its own tail. So I'm thinking you are breaking this cycle. It's some kind of cycle, and it has to do with you taking authority. You're not being the victim anymore, not to yourself and your how you think about yourself, and not towards how other thinks of you either. You are you are truly a rebel. Okay, you're truly freeing yourself from eons of repetition, karmic repetition, you being in the same situation, being judged in the same way by you or by others again and again and again and again. And here you just don't go for it anymore. You just free yourself. You just walk away. You just do something new. You just take authority and say, no, I know I'm doing the best I can in every situation. And you do the best you can in every situation. And if it doesn't work, you move on. So then you know, okay, it wasn't for me. And you move on. So I call the 4 archangels. Here we have some interesting jumper. In the 4 corners of the world, and we can see what's hiding underneath here. It's the lovers, and it comes together with page of swords. So I'm thinking, before you have let your relationships being ruled by your mind, trying to act in perfect ways to be loved, trying to perform perfectly to be loved, trying to manipulate situation to be loved, trying to avoid certain situation to avoid heartbreak, trying to avoid love overall to avoid heartbreak. And you can see this is getting like colder and colder, stiffer and stiffer. And this is also what you're taking yourself out of now when you're stepping into your emperor energy, like being your own authority in your life. Then you don't have to be afraid of heartbreak anymore, because you have yourself always. It can feel like a cliche, but when you love and trust and support yourself, it's nothing the world can do towards you to make you feel bad. The divine can still make you feel bad when you have kind of trampled on a landmine. You have done something that you shouldn't have done, but you should still have done it, okay? Because you needed that life experience, and the shame or the guilt is just a feedback. Okay, that was the wrong step, and we can always apologize. We can try to make amends. Some things can't be fixed, but it's still life experience. You are still richer for making that mistake, and this is kind of what you learn here. That also, if you before, when you try to calculate everything and get love under control, you didn't get what you wanted either. Love didn't last forever. Now when you have this new approach, love won't last forever in this earthly shape and form now either. But at least you will be okay with it, okay? And here we have the change in the upright position. So it seems like something in your relationship might need to come back around again. Okay, so you have learned this for yourself. You have become the authority within yourself, but you haven't still proved that you can do this like in a in a situation where you need to like meet others, and it's like on in an action-filled event. You can do this inside of yourself when you have peace and quiet, and you can distance yourself from the situation. But when you have to, it's like a hot situation. I can't explain it better than that. I don't have the words for it, but it's like what Jean-Paul Sartre once said: if you think you're so enlightened, go and spend a week with your parents. So I'm thinking this is the situation. You have learned this for yourself, but now you need to do it. You need to take it for a test spin, like in a real action situation, like a hot situation. I call the 6 elements jumper change. Okay, what more can I say about this card? Whatever you give out is what you are going to get back. It's like how you have made your bed is going to be how you lie in it. And I'm thinking that you have been so afraid of this before, so you have limited your actions, and you have not let destiny rule. You have been so afraid to make the wrong move and get pain and guilt and bad consciousness, so you haven't really lived at all. And now I'm thinking this card is calling you to be the destiny maker. Okay, you need to take more responsibility. You can't be afraid for your own creative powers anymore. You are strong enough to take whatever consequences will come, so you don't have to always go with the flow and play things safe. if that makes any sense. Okay, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Leo viewers. So I want my dear Leos, possibilities, 2 of Wands. Okay, so I'm thinking you you're going to be put into a test situation where an old situation is repeating itself when it comes to your relationship, maybe with the child, since we saw the page of swords, or a younger person, or someone that has their inner child at display or being immature in some way. It might be you also, some situation where you haven't really matured, where you haven't really grown up because it was too hard. So maybe you haven't really engaged yourself in this situation. Maybe you have avoided them. With 2 possibilities, you're supposed to be awake and clear. We saw the eagle in the Emperor card. It comes here. You need to be the Emperor eagle, okay, to see things from an above situation, be very clear, awake and aware, and know always how to act in all situations. Not to be perfect, but how to act to be fully you, okay, to follow your intentions here on earth. So if you feel go left, you go left. If you feel go right, you go right. If you feel like I don't like this, you say I don't like this. If you feel I like this, I love this, then you say I like this, I love this. And so it's about becoming more authentic, more brave, becoming your full self, not being wobbly, like I go a little bit there, a little bit there. You need to be more sure on yourself and know where you're headed. And how you know this is by listening to your heart, listening to your center. With the 2 possibilities, you're going to be rather detached. You're not going to be fully engaged because you need to keep this overview. You are not supposed to fall into the same trap and maybe become anxious and worried and guilt-stricken and try to behave and try to perform in certain ways, or so you're going to have to be a little bit detached so you don't fall in the same trap of wanting people to like you, of being afraid of you doing something to be shunted out, or you in this situation. I think you need to put yourself in that position that you wouldn't care if you be shunted out or not, because this is how strong you need to be this time. Okay, so I want you to have love in your lives. 2 of Pentacles as well. So moment to moment, take it step by step. It might be 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So there's not going to be any quick fixes. We have death here in the reverse. This will take time. So you can't, just because you have learned something new and a new drill and doing something in a new way, it won't solve all your problems. People will still be who they were. It's just you that have new tools, so you can go into this situation with new tools step by step. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back. So you can have to be doing this for quite some time. Put yourself in a position of patience. For example, if you have a friend that you love to be with, but they are very touchy-feely, and before you have taken this into great consideration, so you have been behaving because you didn't want guilt or feel bad when the person doesn't want to talk with you anymore. 8 of Swords can be a situation where we silent treatment. So you have behaved, you have tried to not to not walk on a landmine and have things exploding in your face. Now you won't care, okay? You will walk on the lined mines. The person will explode in your face, or the situation will explode in your face. And then you will have patience until it comes around the next time again and you can deal with it again. This time you won't take it as a punishment and that you need to change your way. You are still going to be you. It's just that you are tested how courageous you will be in this situation, and that you will be you fully and not sell yourself off just to be loved. Okay, so you're really put into the test here. Leo has, your weak spot is your heart. I think you need to use this heart you have, and it's going to heal in this process when you are aligning with yourself and becoming your own authority. So that this is going to free you, Leo, from this old karma of having heart problems and heart conditions, because you're not going to let people get to your heart anymore. You're not going to you're not going to let them make you believe that you are not worthy, or worthy of love, worthy of respect. So this is what's going to happen, and this is how strong you need to be. So it's going to change big patterns that have been there for Leos for maybe tens of thousands of years. So you need to have patience in this process. You have changed, the outside world might not have changed, and you need to be able to live through the gap of that. So therefore loving yourself in the meantime, and kind of don't caring of the consequences anymore. So yes, I want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So a lot of jumpers for Leo, but now it's finally shuffled and ready. So I will just tune in to you and your energy for a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Leos, now I will part your deck here, and this is your reading right there. So I will do a 5-card spread for you. This first card, this is you or your situation right now. This is your past, and this is your future. And this is past, outside the circumstances, situation, people, one person, the past for that. Might be the divine's energy also coming in here. And this is the future of this situation. Sorry, I hold it. I I showed it for you. Okay, and here we have the future of that circumstance, situation, people, person, outside situation. Okay, so we know it's the judgment there. Okay, so this is you, and we have integration here. So you're finally becoming whole. You're taking in your masculine side, your own authority. Once you lost this, you, as I have said before, Leos has been royal leaders, and you had a rather big karma because of that. So you have worked very hard with that for maybe thousands of years, and you have become more humble. In most cases, Leo have become very humble, and now it's time to get back a little bit of that old royal juice again, to not humble yourself into nothingness. So this is taking in your shadow, integrating. We have the eagle again. So you have tried to be the swan. The eagle was bad. You might have felt like a dictator, or maybe you ruled the whole world or parts of the world in ways that wasn't that humble. But now you need to re-engage with this energy, and that is going to also heal Leo's broken heart. So first you needed to have this experience of being these royal Leos, and then you had to humble yourself, and now you have learned both. So being the eagle and being the swan, and now you need to come together to be both. So integration. This is also the second card for love in the major arcana, so it might be talking about strong attractions, maybe with a person that mirrors this masculine side of you on the outside, male or female, like a person being able to take control and show leadership and have boundaries and show direction and be stubborn and all these things that's connected with the emperor and his Aries energy. This is Sagittarius energy, so it's still fire. So it's talking a lot about you becoming whole. Here you also have the snake biting its own tail. So you have come back full circle and learned a lesson that you were supposed to learn. So it's very, very beautiful. Okay. Here we have the past, and there's the magician. It's number 1. Existence. So you have learned to get acquaintance with your own soul and your own eternal soul. So that's making you much more courageous and less afraid. It makes you being aligned with your true power and your true you, your I, in the I am. So you know who you are much better now, and therefore you are less vulnerable for outside forces because you have aligned with this I. Okay. And you know that you are a part of existence and that you are worthy and you are supposed to be the way you are. And so magician is also taking matters in your own hands. So instead of being humble and just going with the flow, keeping your head down, trying to make as little damage as possible as you go, you now take full responsibility and the creative force in your hands, Leo. So you have the possibility to change and rearrange whatever situation you want to change and rearrange in your life. And this is your future. And here we have climbing to the past. Okay, so you probably got some kind of kick of being this humble person that was kind of there for everyone, and you probably identified yourself with a person that gives up their strength for other persons, that help them, that kind of oversees their flaws or not trying to control them. Yes, and this 5, it's some old disappointment. I told you so, that there's going to be things in your relationship still to handle. So you have done this for yourself. But when it comes to other people, 5 here, it's connected to the high priest, society, tradition, religion, family. So you are enlightened now when you are with you, but go and spend this week with your parents or lover or best friend or whatever it is that's going to be a challenge for you in the future. So you're going to have to meet this, it's a vulnerable spot with you where you still can get hurt. But we saw the 2 of Wands with the eagle. You need to keep yourself a little bit detached. Don't take everything that other people do personally. If a person betrays you or lets you down, it's about them. It's not about you. So you need to learn to go through this step by step to also heal this area of your life. So it's very high course. So it's not going to be an easy thing. It's very easy to take care of yourself and be in yourself, and don't be bothered with people. People is difficult, but here you need to deal with those difficult people and not just chant them out, but actually deal with whatever is in that box. Okay, so your future relationships, things might start to hit off here, and you will be maybe an old situation will be reconciled, but it won't mean paradisic happiness for you. Paradisic happiness where when you were able to be with just you. Hell is other people. Maybe that was what Jean-Paul Sartre said. Who said this other thing then? I never remember names, especially not when I'm doing the readings. It's like everything is gone. Okay, and here we have past situations, people, circumstances, and we have the 5, the outsider. So I'm thinking you might have left people on the outside. We have 5 of coins, 5 here, climbing to 5 of cups. So it's feminine 5s. So these mushy, yummy, vulnerable parts of humans where they want to be they want to be loved, they want to be included, they want to not have heartbreak, they want to be with people that can support them and be loyal and honest and all these things. And here with this 5, it has been problematic for you with the relationship, and to get peace of mind, you might have shunned certain people out, so they might have felt like you disrespected them or didn't love them anymore or didn't want them or hated them or whatever. But it was probably you were doing this to get some peace of mind, and it seems like you succeeded here with both existence and integration. But you have something from the past here that's going to affect your future a little bit, and we'll see here. We know that this is the Judgment card, Beyond Illusions, and it's in the reversed. So I'm thinking there can be like something, it's something from the old is definitely going to come back, and it's not going to be easy for you to deal with it. It's going to be, you can't, it's no easy solution. You need to meet the bull head on, so to speak, and show how much you actually have changed. So I'm thinking every time you are with a person and they rub you the wrong way, they hurt you in some way, don't engage so much in the drama just then. Try to shelter yourself a little bit and stay with the pain of it all, and maybe withdraw a little bit to this situation where you are talking with your own soul, and then you can go out, and then something happen again, you go back, you digest it, you integrate it, you work very hard with it, and then you go out again, and something happens, you go back, you stay with it, digest it, integrate it, and you do like this, the twos, one step forward, one step back, one step forward, one step back. So a situation is not going to have a quick fix here. This is also 20, so it's number 2. It's not going to have a quick fix. It's going to be like a stalemate. It's like I see the ground between two warring tribes. So you're going to step over there, and then you're going to step back and over and back and over and back. And it's until you can build bridges between these two tribes, okay? And I'm thinking it's you, Leo, and other people, or just certain people. Maybe there's certain people that you have. It can be a group of people, or it can be just females, or just males, or just mummies, or just children, or whatever. So it's some situation that with some group of people, or one person, or a couple of person, that doesn't work out that well for you, and it's not a bad thing, okay? It's just that even though you have lived so many lifetimes and find all this this knowledge here, this is like being a scientist, and you know, picked things from different like eons of lifetimes and put it all together like into a new knowledge that we then put into the 5, 14, 1 plus 4, 5. So the scientists take things, put them in the library, and now you are the scientist when it comes to these relationships, and you need to investigate it, and you need to, you know, trial and error, tear your potions, and investigate outcomes, you know, do this, see what happens, what kind of outcome, okay, then try this, and then try this, and then try this. So you need to be a scientist here when it comes to your personal relationships, and you need to take very good care of yourself in the process. Be a little bit detached. You don't want to stumble and fall here back into something old. You don't want to lose your spirit. So take it in small portions. That's why the Judgment is in the reversed, because this is the dead rising, and this is the dead rising and then dying and rising and dying. So I'm thinking there might be some kind of on and off again situation going on for you here in the future. So integration, I'll read this card for you. It's the center card of the reading, so it will affect all the other cards. So the image of integration is the unio mystica, the fusion of opposites. This is a time of communication between the previously experienced dualities of life. Rather than night opposing day, dark opposing light, they work together to create a unified whole, turning endlessly one into the other, each containing in its depths, deepest core, the seed of the opposite. The eagle and the swan are both beings of flight and majesty. The eagle is the embodiment of power and aloneness. The swan is the embodiment of space and purity, gentle, floating and diving upon and within the element of emotions, entirely content and complete within her perfection and beauty. We are the union of eagle and swan, male and female, fire and water, life and death. The card of integration is the symbol of self-creation, new life, mystical union, otherwise known as alchemy. So these people that are rubbing you the wrong way are actually holding the key to your own shadow. So with being exposed to circumstance, people, and situation that's rubbing you the wrong way, you will integrate more and more of your own shadow, and it will step into the light and become a part of your soul. So I'm thinking you are doing some kind of soul retrieval, but it's something that has blocked your life before, and now it's time to deal with it. The conflict is in man. Unless it is resolved there, it cannot be resolved anywhere else. The politics is within you. It is between the two parts of the mind. A very small bridge exists. If that bridge is broken through some accident, through some physiological defect or something else, the person becomes split. The person becomes two people, and the phenomenon of schizophrenia or split personality happens. If the bridge is broken and the bridge is very fragile, then you become two. You behave like two people. In the morning you are very loving, very beautiful. In the evening you are very angry, absolutely different. You don't remember your morning. How can you remember? Another mind was functioning, and the person becomes two people. If this bridge is strengthened so much that the two minds disappear as two and become one, then integration, then crystallization arises. What George Gurdjieff used to call the crystallization of being is nothing but these two minds becoming one. The meeting of the male and female within, the meeting of yin and yang, the meeting of left and right, the meeting of logic and illogic, the meeting of Plato and Aristotle. So be very grateful for everyone that do you the courtesy of making you sad or upset. They are helping you see this other side that you need to integrate. So be grateful and pray for this situation to come in the speed and in the momentum that you can digest. Okay. So I'm thinking this is like a setting for a very big transformation for you, Leo, to really shine your light through your whole soul and existence and become fully illuminated. So this is just, it's like the dark night before the sunset, that the night is darkest before the sun comes. Okay, so I will take a card from Sacred Rebels Oracle, so it suits very well for you since you had the Rebel as well. So for June, touch up mid-month, what's going on for Leo in June? One card would be nice, but we can take that. New birth, guarded vigilantly. So, okay, and the book. 24. And you see the butterfly here on her shoulder. Sorry, it's hard with the left hand. I'm right-handed. Oh, you do like this. You see. And coming new growth here as well. And the green pearls. It's new growth. It's like a pearl of growth. It's a lot of opportunities there for you. So, in every creative process, in every birth, in every opening of a new cycle of life, there is time of vulnerability. The vulnerability is natural and appropriate. It is the foal learning to become steady on its legs. Those legs will become remarkably powerful in time, but the process of growth and maturity has to take place, and that requires some wobbly first attempts. It cannot be any other way. Within you, perhaps even below the level of your conscious awareness, there is a fresh new life emerging like a vibrant green shoot rising up from the earth. This new life is in need of your attention and your care. This could be a new relationship that needs tending with interest and kindness. It could be a new idea that you need to nurture into fullness, because it is going to hold special purpose for your life path. It might be something within you, a new behavior, a new way of looking at yourself, or a new way of being in the world that you need to tend to until it becomes more natural for you to embody. This is more significantly so if you have also drawn the Oracle of Defend to the end, the worthwhile. If you feel drawn to, you may read the guidance for that card now. I won't do that. I will see. I will jump that part and see here. You will not always need to cloak. No, I will stop there because it's getting a little bit confusing. I will check out that card. Show you the picture. See here, if I can find it. Defend to the end. Okay, it was actually the next card. It was on top of the deck already, so interesting. It's 23. So I'll read this beginning for you as well. It's owl there, so yet another bird. Beneath the illusions, pretty as they may seem, you know what is real. Beneath the lies, sweet though they may sound, you know what is worthwhile. All that is genuinely and truly essential for the heart to throb with life is worthwhile. Anything that dulls it or suffocates its vibrant aliveness must be questioned, challenged, and more than likely cast aside, for that heart is our key to living an authentic life. What is there once that is compromised? Without its foundation of truth, we ought to be forever lost in confusion, doubt, and despair. You are a sacred warrior, a defender of the heart. You have cried genuine tears of your own grief and also the grief of the world. You have ragged at injustice and oppression in your own life and in the world. You have felt the need to protect the presence of love, for whilst it is exceptionally powerful, it can too easily be smothered on the lies and fear. The sacred warrior must not heed the dangerous voice that say, "Oh, stop being so sensitive, stop making such a big deal out of things." Love is the biggest deal there is. What else is worth being so sensitive about? The sacred warrior is vigilant that the presence of love is not shipped away by fear, criticism, doubt, and untruths. Even if others find unflinching honesty of your feelings difficult to handle, even if those feelings are expressed with gentleness and compassion, the sacred warrior honors the task of being more faithful to love than to anything else. This includes the fear of loss. Actually, it includes the fear of anything at all. Okay, so I'm thinking this is rather clear that you have, with the swan, you have been in the swan energy, maybe very emotional and loving, and now you needed to step into more your own authority and become the eagle. And why you need to become the eagle again was to protect the heart. So it's as simple as that. So, and now you will try to share the heart with others again, but that might not be easy because your view of love and other people's view of love might be very different, because your heart is big, Leo. Other hearts can be very small, and your heart is therefore very vulnerable, and therefore this is your vulnerable spot. So you need to protect yourself while doing this. You can't just throw yourself before the wagon again. You need to use both the swan and the eagle in balance, okay, to share your gift of your view of love with the world. Okay, so I hope that this helped. I want you to take really, really good care, and I also welcome you back to my my July reading that I will perform in mid-month June. Okay, bye bye.